Okay, hi folks. I'm going to read a little bit from the first book of the Purity series, A New Order. It's about 4 generations since the Great Plague decimated society, killing 3 out of every 4 people, bird and beast. And since the plague, the world has been run by warlords. 4 generations, very feudal system, royalty and upper class having everything going for them, and the working class nothing, very lower standards, etc. And then Rezden came along, and he was from a privileged background and had a bit of a conscience and decided, no, the world shouldn't be like this. And he had this idea of a new order where all man, woman and child will be decreed as equal privilege, equal opportunity, and a life of harmony and prosperity. But when he had this idea for his new order, the world, as I said, was under warlords, and he needs to go to see Arelaz, the warlord of the Northern Territory, to get some land to start his pilot project for a new order. So he has gone to see Arelaz, he's had dinner with him, and they are chatting. Arelaz is first time they met, and Arelaz is trying to find out more about him. Rezden's eyes blazed. But sire, my words and thoughts are motivated by morality alone. Do you not hear the voices in the street? Can you not see the dangers? Arelaz spoke shortly. Please, sir, do not presume me to be a fool or a cur. I am neither. We have not yet spoken about the times we found ourselves in. We will speak of York. We still speak of the creature called man. Tell me, Rezden, what for you are the cardinal sins? Which crime for you is the most horrible? I trust you do believe there is right and wrong. Surely the worst crime should be murder, the murder of the innocent and the weak. Murder? Of body or mind? Rezden was caught off balance again. Consider this, Arelaz continued, not giving his guest time to recover. If you knew of a man who for a fact wished to harm or slay you, would you be his friend? Rezden sat forward confidently. He believed he understood where this would lead. I would do my utmost to make peace, sire, and would then befriend him. And while you offer gestures of peace, he slays your child and rapes your wife. I would kill him, sire, Rezden whispered, trying to picture the scene. He was still unmarried and without child, his destiny for a new order to peacefulness over matters of the heart. Why? Harming my family, the man has shown me dishonor, sire. So for you, honor is greater than the blood of your blood? Rezden looked down, uncertain, and Arelaz continued. And you look back on your father and his father, and you see that for generations, the kin of this man have shown malice to yours, and the man you slay has a child, who now is with our father, prey to the wolves, both man and beast. Would you feel it your duty to intervene? Rezden thought for a while, considering the question carefully. Most likely not, my lord. Even though the child may die? If hatred is in the blood, sire, aiding the child could be arming the hand of death. So there is fear. No, sire, care. Nice words, sir. He looked Rezden square in the face. Would you kill the child? No, sire. But you would leave it exposed to the evils of the world. Is this any different? It is not by my hand. Rezden threw his head back and he exploded with laughter. Not your hand, my good man. You killed the child's father, cut off his only true insurance to life, and it was not by your hand? Never mind. Ultimately, you must agree that while the laws we have come to accept as truth tell us the taking of life is evil, somehow we cannot justify exceptions even in our personal life. Which brings me to my next question. Do you think There is such a thing as right and wrong. Is there absolute wrong? In fact, is there really such a thing as good and evil? My lord, Rezden had lost the plot. Forgive me, my friend, Arelaz chuckled, setting the visitor a little more at ease. The fruit of the vine loosens my tongue, and the chance to converse with a man who thinks unshackles my fancies. But bear with me a while longer as I try to illustrate my dilemma. We have in essence concluded that there may be times when the taking of life, both man and beast, may be less than evil, in fact, at times necessary, at times justified, and at times even honorable. But the act is the same. One will inflict what is required to extinguish the flame of life in another. In each and every instance, although the death for the one is the pinnacle of horror, for the other party it brings value, be it sustenance, safety from threat, acquisition of power or property, even the end of oppression. Rezden was transfixed by the line of conversation. And like with life and death, every other inflection of the laws of righteousness float both in good and evil. They are equally evil or good depending on the perspective. And is this not the way of the universe? With every veil of night, there is a promise of light. With every gesture of goodness, there is the threat of evil. The warmth of summer follows the ice of fall, rains bring life, drought brings death. A circle of existence which started with time and will end when time is done. And I say to you, within the schemes of the great divine, the forces of the dark side are no better or worse than the purest strains of light. Both are equal and integral to the continuance of the universe. But sire, Rezden tried to interject, all considered, there can be no absolute right or absolute wrong, my friend. There are only the actions of every beast, wild or tame, and the responses of an unpredictable world, as all play their part, and the paths we choose define our journeys. Ultimately, with as much impact on the way the world unfolds as a horsefly has on directing a horse. At times we help, and at times we hinder, but never enough to change how it will be. Rezden sat back and crossed his arms, leveling his gaze at his host. So you believe that our role is to concede to the winds of fate, wherever they blow? Irrespective of our actions, that is what we do. But that does not mean we should drift without course. Simply because we cannot prevent the inevitable does not mean we must bury our heads in the sands. But do not think for 1 minute that the future of your inspired vision will end any different. Arelaz sat back and sighed. Rezden seized the chance. Our order will be created and upheld for the people, by the people. I thought the vision was yours, Arelaz replied sneakily. It was I and a close friend who conceived the workings, but I assure you, prime consideration was for those without the will. And they will be liberated and empowered. And how long will it be before they seek to be enriched? And when progress falters, who will it be that they look to for blame? It will be blamed on the evils of the old ways, and freedom will no longer be enough. They will seek compensation and then retribution, and there will come the time when those that liberated will be the new despot, the new warlord, the new champion of corruption and greed, and your new order will falter and fall to the double-edged sword of perspective.